Good morning, YouTube. I'm here at the range with my Ruger 17 HMR. This is the Ruger American Rimfire, and this is one of the promotional versions. And again, this is Ruger American Rimfire 17 HMR, and I'm going to do some 25-yard ranging shots because I had taken the scope off because I had added a sunshade to the scope, and it's a little Tasco scope. And the problem was that you could not find a sunshade for this, so I had to buy one of those universal ones, which usually when you get a universal one, it means it doesn't really fit in this universe. So I ended up JB welding it on. I ended up having to do some work with a Dremel and file off some of the threads, and I got it to where I could just use the threads as a tab, and I JB welded it on. If I was a more expensive scope, I wouldn't do it too, but this is a $25 used Tasco scope that I bought. So I put the sunshade on there, and then I JB welded it, and then I went over and I painted the whole thing over again. So I had to take the scope off. So I'm putting it back on, and I'm going to sight the gun back in again. And I'm using 17 Hornady 17 grain standard VMAX bullets. Nothing spectacular here. So I'm going to start her off at 25 yards, and then I'm going to go out to 100 yards and maybe 125 and see what happens. And we'll see where it is from there. So we'll start at the 25-yard line. Still getting used to the trigger on this gun. It's very touchy, even though I adjusted it back to about 4 pounds or so. It's still pretty touchy for the trigger, so I'm getting used to it. But that's 25 yards so far. I'll practice with it a bit more, but I'm going to try her out to a little longer distance and see what I can make of it. All right, YouTubers. Instead of going out and just putting a paper target up that you won't be able to see, I put these clay targets out, and they're 125 yards back. Okay? So, let's see what happens when I go after them at 125 yards with a Ruger 17 HMR. See if I can get them. Looks like I was shooting high for those first couple, and I see the other ones kind of fell over. So I'll put a couple more rounds in and see if I can mop them up. Again, this is a Ruger American 17 HMR. This gun was a $302 gun out the door. And I'm still getting used to that trigger. The trigger is very I don't want to say it's a light trigger, even adjusted as high as it can, or as tight as you can get. It's a very touchy trigger. You really have to be on it. But I really haven't shot this gun that much, and I want to. This is why I'm practicing with it, because I want to get better with it. Well, there it is, folks. Ruger 17 HMR, 125 yards, Ruger American, with nothing more than a $25 used Tasco Bantam World Class Scope 3 to 9 power. Not bad for an outfit right now that's probably around about $350 it's cost me so far. Have a good day, YouTube.